obviously the loss at Louisville was a big talking point throughout the press conference, and he kind of drew some interesting stares when he talked about what went differently for his team on Tuesday night. So I'll let you take it from there.
Yeah, he kind of, I'm still not entirely sure what the reasoning was, but he began to share a story about what happened before the Louisville game, and then I have the quote right here.
Do we have
I'm
the
not
video?
ready.
Oh yeah, Steven, we have the video. We can play it.
Yeah, maybe even play that. That's better than me
Yeah,
talking.
I think I do. Just ramble for a second.
I was gonna
Find
say,
something
just,
interesting to talk about.
Zach's
I'll have
Zach's
Base-
dramatic reading might be even better.
He's living
Yeah,
in the
pause.
tension
Here
with
we go.
that.
Oh, here we go.
You always live in the tension. I actually think we did I'm not ready to tell the story yet, but at some point we'll talk in detail about our pregame experience at Louisville, and it was out of character for us, and that's young and new, and so. I actually don't want to. I don't want to keep our emotions in check. It wouldn't be exactly.
Do you want me to keep playing it or keep going? I think do we kind of get it? Get it?
I think we get it. Yeah, I think we can go from there. So, what the heck was he talking about, Zach?
I don't know. I really don't. I don't know. A lot of people have made the point of why bring it up if you're not going to say it. I kind of agree with that. But I also think that this is probably a nothing burger type. If I had to make some guess about it, my guess is Kentucky came in overly cocky, and they just acted like it in the lead up to the game, and they got their teeth kicked in, and Pope was pissed about it. That's just where my brain immediately goes for it. I don't know if he'll actually. I do think that someone is going to ask him this question again whenever the season ends. Be like, hey, so about that Louisville thing, can you finally go back and talk? And I imagine it's going to be something that's not nearly as serious as he kind of made it out to be whenever he was talking to us in the media. Because I mean, I don't know. Did someone get in a fight or something like that? I have no idea what it could have been. But
This did happen. That the person's talking about. We witnessed this. I don't know if this was it, but this may have been what he was kind of alluding to. It's kind of what I was thinking, was that there was some chirping with the fans going on before the game. I don't know.
Jasper and Mo, right?
Yeah,
Mo
and it was just
as well.
They were getting those shots off in the corner, and there was some words exchanged, but it wasn't that serious. So I don't know if that was it. It was something I thought about though.
Well, I talked to some people that were there, and I heard that Cam Williams and Trent Noah got into a big argument. It was Scooby-Doo or Tom and Jerry, and they just, knock down, drag them out.
For a second, I was like,
ugly.
what the hell is he talking about?
Well, because, all right.
Tom and Jerry's the right answer, but.
Oh, here we go.
Yep.
Scooby-Doo's okay.
Are they even enough to know Tom and Tom and Jerry?
Well, then maybe I grew up on Tom and Jerry and Scooby-Doo, the old school ones. Me personally, I don't know about them, but.
In my mind, when I planned out this stupid bit, it was SpongeBob because they do like SpongeBob.
Ooh. But you can't pit SpongeBob against something else because SpongeBob's always on top.
See, exactly. So I'm kind of glad I made that mistake. Scooby-Doo's, they're still making them, but they're not.
I think they're still making Tom and Jerry's too.
Really?
Really? Like
everything's a reboot. They reboot everything.
I thought it would be like the classical animation where they drew it.
It's all.
Well, they did a movie where Tom and Jerry were animated in real life, like Who Framed Roger Rabbit
thanks.
sort of deal.
Oh, yuck! Yeah.
Couldn't have worked that well.
Because
I hope it was something that silly, or else like Pope, you could just say that we didn't handle. We weren't
Yeah.
There's a way to phrase it
yeah.
to say like, well, I don't want to mention it because like all you're doing is
sounds like an excuse
in leaving it open-ended for people to worry, right? Because
and for us to free associate.
Yeah.
So is that the term where I'm looking for? Free associate?
I don't know.
But the absence of information leads to conspiracies. Right?
Yes, basically, the method of verbalizing any thought that comes to mind without censorship as a way to access. Explore creative ideas. I don't know. We'll go with free associate.
Because like the first thing that came to mind was death premonition, right? It's Oscar Sheboygan saying that we're all going to die in a plane crash after this, and then we lose St. Peter's, right? Like that's violent,
We're gonna
So
die on this
who would have
bus.
done that? Who would have done that from this team? Who would be the Oscar in that situation? Do we think from
Oh
this team?
man.
Well,
We don't really have.
judging
Maybe.
by the way he played, Otega Owe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and there was all that
He was
weirdness
rough.
with Owe the day of. I don't think that was it. I think that Pope is too smart to let us linger over this. I don't know. It was very odd. And part of me was also almost like, do they have a video they're gonna like release that shows it or something? But surely not. I mean, he knows his fan base too well.
Pope likes to tell these stories in 3 acts, like he did with Jackson Robinson's story after the Gonzaga game, where he looked at him and he said, "Do you care if I tell the story?" So he obviously had this first act already.
Yeah, he
ready
does that
to
a
go.
lot. Yeah,
And he even tells us that when he says, when you guys have to tell the stories, like if it's negative, and that's great. You have to write those negative stories because it makes it so much better when the positive story comes out. So maybe if they go to Alabama, which I think that's their next road game, and they play well and they win the game, he might pull this story and be like, before the Louisville game, our guys were doing this, and now we've got them to focus and all that. So maybe.
In this same press conference, the very last question, he was talking about jury duty, and he was kind of making a joke about it, and then backtracked on it at the end there. So I think that he's still just kind of learning that every word he does say does matter, and he's kind of realizing that in real time, and especially when you have a media and a fan base that is going to cling to every single word. Like, I bet you if you asked him now, like right now, say, "Hey, do you wish you had said that first part about I'm not ready to tell the story?" He'd probably would have said, "Yeah, maybe I should have taken that one back." Right. So I think he just talks. He gets up there and talks sometimes. I mean, Tyler even said, she was like, "I'm sorry that she was in the KS Sports. She's like, "I'm sorry to everyone else in the press conference for this 3.5 minute answer on." I don't even remember what he was talking about.
I'll give some background on that. So I've had this pitch to UK for a while for a feature about how Mark Pope is dealing with the psychology of losing, because he himself has talked about this a lot. It was like a big thing last year about how hard he takes losses. And he's even working with a team of like psychologists on this. I think they worked with him at BYU on it. They came with him to UK. They're still working on this, but he doesn't want to do the feature, which is totally fine. This is his life. It's his health and all that. But so I told Deb, the SID, I was like, I'm going to ask him about it today because he's been very public with this stuff. So that was why I had to get that question in. I should have known it was going to launch him into a 5-minute answer about the 5 stages of grief. But I do think that you could see him in his mind trying to think through it, how his process goes. Because I think his answer was like, you have to use it to be constructive. You have to use it to think about what can I do in the future to prevent this instead of lingering in the past. So, but yeah, I mean, it was good to get some FaceTime with Pope because, I sit here in Nashville. I cover all these press conferences and all that from here. So it's kind of fun to get a little FaceTime. I didn't envision the whole pregame experience thing to be the main storyline of this press conference. I thought maybe some more questions about Otega Owe and pick and roll defense and how Kentucky's elite Ken Pom number 4 defense got manhandled, but oh well.
Yeah, I mean, I think from just somebody from afar, it's kind of nice to have him have this. He's pissed off about whatever happened pregame.
Yeah,
and that's a good I like that. So just
say that
we didn't go about our business the way we needed to, and I'm making sure that we're fixing that.
Yeah,
that's all we had to do. Instead, it's like this. Well, what is wrong? What's wrong? It was their first road game, and Kentucky usually loses its first road game.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was somebody on the board. Which if you're not on it, get on it, KSR Plus right now. But somebody detailed all of the road games over the last 20 years. One, UK never plays a road game this early in the season. There's a reason why. But you go back they were back into like the Tubby era, and it's just Kentucky almost always loses their first road game or plays poorly, or it's January and you're at Georgia and they're terrible and you play ugly and win. So like it happens. There's a learning curve. I think just my only real red alert was I expected when it was hard to handicap this matchup. It reminded me of the old Governor's Cups when they were the first game of the year and you didn't know anything.
Yes, I did. Same exact feeling. Yep.
Yeah. You could just argue whatever and nobody could prove them wrong because like you could just say whatever you wanted and there was nothing to disprove that. But the one thing that I felt good about was this defense is going to be better. They're more athletic. They've got the
Yeah.
and pardon my French, they looked like shit. And it wasn't just. It's not like. Yes, they didn't play with the physicality I expected. It was more of just the defensive principles where it's like, dude, why are you going under screens when you're guarding white guys? That guy can shoot. Never, ever, ever. Like, I don't.
Doubling non-shooters.
That's the kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, and then the play before half. I usually have a couple games a year where I throw my hat. Like, I throw it across the room, and my wife is like, do you feel better? And I just like, I do the Clark Griswold, give me a Tylenol, and I just like, string together profanities that make no sense. Well, that was the last play before half where you're going on a run. You cut it to 6 maybe, and you play good defense, and then Brandon Garrison just is paying no attention to what's going on.
Yeah.
It's an easy, like, no, you should be in position preparing for the rebound. Instead, it's like an easy 2 for Louisville. It's like there's some things when it comes to defense where it's just like half of defense is anticipating. And I was frustrated that some of that wasn't there because that's stuff that they said they've been working on all preseason. Like I know Louisville's a good offense. They might have the best offense in college basketball. We can't be completely red alerting everything, but like some of those things are like, dude, come on, like don't go under the screens with our shooters. Like make them dribble.
Well, and another quote that Pope had in the press conference, I think it was it 34 points? I think he said, Tyler Steven, he said 34 of Louisville's points came in the first 8 seconds of the shot clock. They were just getting their ass beat up and down the court. Yeah, they just weren't. Yeah. They weren't fighting to get down the floor. They weren't running fast enough. They weren't sprinting. They weren't playing hard enough. So the defense overall was embarrassing.
The depth was supposed to be a positive.
Yep.
But honestly, early on, I think it's going to be a negative because it's going to take him a minute to figure it out.
He didn't even play Trent Noah, and he could have. Jasper Johnson played 6 minutes.
Do we think Trent Noah would have made a difference in that game?
No, he wouldn't have. And it's whatever.
So is that going to be the story with Trent Noah this year? Like we were kind of sold that he's going to be one of the go-to shooters, but if he can't, is this just a bad game for him to play in, or is this something
probably? I mean, Jasper, you could tell pretty early wasn't capable of playing in this game.
I just think that Trent needs some more Eastern Illinois. He needs a little time to get off the runway, so to speak, because he wasn't playing well before he rolled his ankle. His shooting stroke was just not there. And as much as I would love for him to have come off the bench and been the savior against Louisville, that's a lot to throw him into, even if he's from Kentucky.
He's not even as good as Cam Williams, and Cam Williams couldn't bring him all the way back either. So
I mean, is Trent still hurt? Or is
he's fine.
They just didn't
stunk and wasn't playing.
I'm just shocked he didn't get in at all. Like didn't even take.
No, that's brother. Get ready for it. Because and here's the other part that people need to get ready for is like there's going to be a lot of games where it's not just Trent Noah. Like it's some other random guy who you're like, why didn't he play at all? The thing that this is me begging to a degree. One, Mo D and Brandon Garrison should never play together, ever.
Yeah,
ever.
That starting lineup.
Ever. Yeah, like
I want more Yelovich.
Yeah, like
Yelovich was great
with BG, right? Yelovich or Cam Williams. But also, it would be kind of fun to see. Like I know Pope's always going to want to play with a big, but the small lineups with those guys might be fun.
Came at the force how they came back.
Yeah.
The small lineup, that was the most efficient, wasn't it? It was like
and here's 10. The thing is, we keep talking
11.
about he's trying to toy with lineups and everything, and you still have the lottery pick on that's going to come in too and mess everything. Yeah. Well, not mess everything up, but you're going to have to kind of rediscover how to work the lineups and rotations again. So that stuff, it does matter. Like you can't just throw in a guy of his talent and expect everything to be, just seamless. Like there's going to be issues you got to iron out and smooth out, especially when you sit there and have to tell Malachi and Brandon Garrison that their minutes are about to get cut in half.
Yeah. That was our starting lineup. Like I just don't like how do you score?
Well,
how do you keep up with Louisville scoring? You better be shutting them down. You better not let Louisville score because you're going to have a trouble keeping up, which is what happened.
I liked Happy Cat too mentioning throwing Owe in there because Owe can make shots, but just the spacing was so off in that starting lineup. And I hate doing starting lineup debates. And I mean, my God, by the end
They
of
start
the
their
Reed-
best players, right? So we
by
should
the
probably
end of the
counter.
Reed and Rob year, it was nauseating how much lineup talk just consumed this fan base. But like, there is some just like clearly these guys shouldn't, like, let's just not do that one, right? And Jalen Lowe also, he had the perfect way to mess with our heads, where he was so awesome for such long stretches and then so terrible down the stretch.
He was
Yeah,
bad. At
those
the
last
end.
5 minutes were really, really rough from him.
The first 5 changed the game.
Yeah.
It was the best they looked.
Yeah.
So
Back-to-back assists. That was
I'm
awesome.
just glad that we don't have to wait long to get the bad taste out of our mouth, because the BB and United Tip-Off Classic presented by Kentucky Tourism finale.
I think you need to use Steven's acronym.
I was about to say, I love the acronym over there. It took me a second to figure out what the hell that meant, and then it hit me pretty quickly.
BB